The rain that fell only on our house. A deeply emotional, mysterious and symbolic story of truth, pain and healing across generations. It stopped raining today, only on our house, and that is when the real storm began. In the village of Oke-Aro, where mites live longer than men, and silence carried more truth than words, there stood a house that never dried. The walls were faded yearly, chipped and weeping. The zinc roof sank endlessly with droplets. Even when the sky was clear, everyone called it cursed. It was our home. And for 10 years, the rain fell only on our house. No one could explain it. Not the meteorologists Papa called from Lagos, not the white-grabbed prophets who poured anointing oil on the tree's hoods, and not even Baba Kolapo, the oldest man in the village, who claimed he once saw a python speak in tongues. But I could. Because the rain started the day Mama died. That morning had been bright. One of those mornings where the light feels like a second skin. Mama was singing while making akara, moving like someone who trusted the universe. Her voice carried an old Ijaw song. River never forgets her sister, even if earth hides the bone. I was sitting in the windowsill, stretching the mango tree outside, when she suddenly stopped singing. She turned to me, her eyes widened with something. Fear, recognition, something primal. They have come back, she whispered. Then she slipped. The bow crashed. Her head hit the tile flood. And there came the first drop of rain. It fell not from the roof, but from the ceiling itself. They buried her behind the house, beneath the mango tree that she loved. Papa stood beside the grave, like a man who had misplaced his soul. He never cried, never spoke more than he had to. After the mourners left, he boarded up Mama's room and locked it. No prayers, no rites, no shrine, only silence. But the rain stayed. At first, it was odd but bearable. Damp clothes, squeaky floors, flooded veranda. Then it worsened. The walls grew moles. The birds freaking. Morning smelled like mildew. The village priest visited twice and left both times shivering. And me, I became the girl who carried umbrellas on dry days. They called me Rain Child. I remembered one night, soaked to the skin after fetching water from the well. I stood at Mama's door and begged, Mama, if you are here, please stop. The door didn't open, but the rain that night turned warm, almost like tears. By the time I was 18, I had decided I would leave. I would get a scholarship, I told Papa. I will find out why this is happening. I will be somebody. He didn't argue. He simply handed me a small calabash wrapped with red clothes. Old, cracked. If the rain finds you again, break this. What is in it? A memory, he said. One she wanted you to carry. University was freedom. Sunlight stayed on my skin. No dripping ceilings. I made friends who didn't look at me like I was cursed. I studied architecture. I fell in love with silence that wasn't loaded. For the first time, I didn't dream of drowning. But peace is a liar where truth is buried. One night, final year, I was in the library. Laughter drifted in from the hostel. I was deep in a sketchbook when I felt it. Then again, drip, drip. I looked up. The ceiling was dry. But my body was wet. Water fell in an irreversible cycle around me. Only me. My friends screamed. Others ran. I ran too, to my room, to the suitcase beneath my bed. I unwrapped the calabash with trembling fingers and smashed it. The air swayed. Mist coiled around my legs like fingers reaching from the past. And then her voice came, gentle but loyal with sorrow. If you are hearing this, the rain has found you. That means the truth has not been spoken. That means the promise has not been kept. Her voice told me the story Papa never could. Mama was a twin. Temi, her sister, had been erased from every photo, every story, but she had lived and she had died because of a choice. The river near Oke-Aro was once scared. When the great flood came, killing many, the oracle declared that twins born to the land were to be blamed. One had to return to the river. Mama's parents chose Temi, burned in white clothes, with stones tied to her feet. Temi was dragged to the river's heart. Mama watched, but she did not speak. She turned her head, and the river took her sister. I tried to forget her. Mama's voice whispered to me. I changed my name, buried the beads we shared, but grief lives in words, and river never forgets. I returned home a week later, not for Papa, not for closure, but for answers. The house was half soaked in water. It smelled of roots and sorrow. Papa sat on a stool near the veranda, his hair now white, his eyes hollow. You knew, I said, didn't you? His hands trembled. She made me promise to protect you. From her, from the past. She took me to the attic. Dust lay thick like glue. Beneath a cracked chest were letters, two beaded necklaces, a torn photo, Mama and another girl, identical, and a diary. Temis. I begged them. I told them I dreamed of becoming a teacher, of planting hibiscus, but the ropes were rough, the water cold, and Mama, she looked away. I screamed until I couldn't. I forgave her. I did, but I couldn't go alone. So I stayed in the walls, in the rain, in her house until someone remembered me. I held the pages to my chest and wept. Not for the cause, but for the silence that wrapped generations like a burial cloth. Next morning, I waked alone into the cocoa forest. At the center, the riverbed lay cracked and thirsty. Birds cycles. The wind hollowed. I wore Temi's bead around my waist. Temi, I said, I am here. I see you. The sky darkened. Clouds changed. Then the rain came, wider than ever. It dropped like a drum beat. But I didn't run. I remember you. I will speak your name. I will build your story. The riverbed rumbled behind me, beneath me. And then she came. A shape, a shadow, a girl with my mother's face. She smiled and vanished. When I reached home, Papa was kneeling in the yard, staring at the sky. It is stopped, he whispered. The sun hits our roof. For the first time in 10 years, it was dry. We opened Mama's room. The air smelled like orange and old dreams. Her journal sat untouched. A painting I made as a child still hung. Two women holding hands under a silver rain. I cried. And this time, Papa cried with me. We transformed the house. painted the walls sunshine yellow. We scrubbed, rebuilt, replanted, and behind the mango tree, we carved a second name into the headstone. Temilade Okonjo, the sister who was remembered. But the rain wasn't done with us yet. 1 month later, a girl named Sadid came to us. Her mother had died in childbirth. Her aunt refused to raise a child of the moon, born on the night of an eclipse. We took her in. One morning, she came moaning, "Auntie Fee, the baby is flying." I ran to the nursery, and there, over the crib of a newborn, with rescue, drops of water hovered in mid-air, soft, glowing, blessed. It wasn't rain anymore. It was remembrance. Today, our house is known as the River's Memory Home, a place where the girls who were cast aside, twins, albinos, orphans, dreamers, we teach them, love them, tell them stories about rain and silence and truth. Sometimes, when the sun is high, the ceiling weeps, but we let it because we have learned the rain isn't always a cost. Sometimes, it is a sister crying to be seen. Sometimes, it is a secret begging to be told. Sometimes, it is healings falling in droplets. And when the rain falls on only your house, don't run. Ask what it remembers.